Should have given a countdown.
All right. Well, no. Now we're live. Now we're live.
Are you sure?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, give us the really awkward stare then that we're live.
Well, yeah, I know. Welcome to the first Endless Sides podcast. I am your host, Tyler.
I'm not. What? Oh.
What is your name?
I'm Blake.
Hi, Kayla.
I am Kayla.
You're the only Kayla. I mean, girl.
I
Kayla
know
in
at
our
least
group.
3 other Kaylas, so I don't know about that last statement, but I'm the
you
only
are the
Kayla
only
here.
Kayla.
I know too
here.
many Tylers too.
And you're also the only girl here, but...
Yes.
Why did you point that out?
Well, it's just because she's the only girl here right now. There's
Well,
only
okay,
3 people.
then.
There's only 3 people in the studio right now, and it's only Kayla.
It's very quiet actually down here.
And
Well,
yeah.
it's good that it's quiet down here. I'm glad it's quiet down here.
All
So,
right.
welcome to the first podcast. We have no
already-
sponsors.
The first in quotations.
Well, yeah,
after the mishaps with the other ones.
after all the mishaps we've had in the past, this is our maybe third or
Fourth one.
I want to say fourth attempt.
try.
It's right, 4 times the charm.
Yeah, maybe
That's what I
fourth
said the last
time's a charm.
time for the 3 times.
We've most of the majority of the times have been Fruity Loops crashing. Now we're using Audacity.
Hooray!
Let's see if Audacity works, because I just figured out how to use Audacity. You know, shocker. Don't really care. And Fruity Loops was a big mistake. Well, it's only because I wasn't running in the 64-bit. I think
Well,
that
because
was.
you and Mike said you ran it before and it worked fabulous.
And I do
Or,
think
no, it
that's-
didn't work fabulous. It still crashed.
I think that's a crock of shit. I don't think that's correct at all. Because I think every time I've opened Fruity Loops, it's always been 32-bit, mostly because that's just how I make that's how I make my music.
I like how we're saying we're using Fruity Loops as like a backup program. It's like, why would you use it as a backup if it still crashes?
Well, yeah,
so we can fix the issue.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's just like the ultimate backup, just in case. And I would only use that as probably a last measure if Audacity didn't decide to work. But because I've had troubles with Audacity in the past, but
Audacity gives me nightmares from 8th grade 3D art, the claymation project with Mr. Beck.
you had to you had to
I
do
know
that.
what that is.
Yeah. We had to like make a full, I don't remember how long it had to be, but we pretty much had to make a claymation movie with like record voices and do all that stuff, and it was just a train wreck.
3D art.
I think I had to use Audacity to record something for bands a while back. I forgot when that was, but it was a horrible program. I feel like just to use.
Was it for high school band?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was probably for high school band, but
In that little that dinky little room with all the keyboards in it.
no, actually I did it at home.
Oh,
I did
home,
I did something. I forgot what it was. I think it was recording something at home, but I mean now it's a better program now. I just feel like when I was using it, it was just really daunting and horrifying to use.
Audacity. Yeah. Well, it's a pretty basic software.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean, you
like,
don't
what's the
get.
hang of it?
It's just the interface is just kind of.
It's kind of clunky, but
It's-
it
yeah, it's
works.
kinda-
it works
it
pretty
works.
well.
Yeah, it does.
Hoping it
does.
works well for this.
Yeah,
For
hopefully.
someone who has no experience and going into that blind, it's very overwhelming.
Yeah, that's
What,
fine. I'm
Audacity?
the same way. Yeah.
You don't know what
Just-
anything means, and you click a button and everything goes wrong.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like with any program. If you don't know how to use it, you just like click one button and everything just kind of blows up in your face.
Well,
Like, how do I
especially-
fix it?
Well, especially with Audition, like I couldn't figure out how to use that.
Like when I was using SketchUp yesterday to build our studio in 3D,
Yeah.
like I was just like I clicked one thing and all of a sudden the entire floor was just shifted. Like like what happened? Why is the floor like shifted 5 feet? Why is the floor rotated?
yeah.
This
Well, at
isn't
least
right.
now you figured it out. Now you have a skill. You
I
have
know.
a new skill.
I
to use.
have an actual usable skill.
You
that-
can become a contractor or something like that.
or just not.
You can make some decent money, I'm sure.
Yeah, because people want to use my really basic SketchUp skills that probably everyone has.
It takes practice. Come on. It takes practice. You'll get used to it. Is your phone on silent?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
Like in the middle of the recording, we're just gonna hear.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty hysterical.
I
phone's in my
actually what?
My phone's in my butt.
Oh.
Yep,
Up it or in it?
up it.
Oh.
Oh,
I don't know where we go. Where do we go from here?
We probably go further
I mean,
up.
Yep.
Oh.
Around the
Further up.
corner
So,
and
so we're not gonna hear the phones going off. I might hear the occasional whoosh from the laundry chute, which for some reason my house is the only house that has one on the entire planet. But
yeah, even Mike's house doesn't have. Well, Mike's house was built in the 90s, so
it's old. Well, my house is older.
Yeah, your house is the oldest.
It's a point of interest though. Like when people come over, like that's the laundry chute. What does that do? It's a chute that goes up to the top floor.
I didn't even know what that was. I had no idea when I first walked in here.
It's fun just like throwing things down it and just seeing people's reactions. Like when I threw the tissue box down, like I need tissues. Okay, shoom.
That threw me for a loop when you did that.
You were so confused. Like where did that come from?
I was like, where did that come from?
Did you just like hit a button upstairs, like just magically dispense like a tissue?
I was like, where did that? I didn't even know what actually came down the chute. I had no idea. Like I said, it threw me for a loop. I had no idea what that was. And it's just because I never grew up with the laundry chute. I never had one.
We had so much fun. Like when we were little, like we put like a pillow in it, and, like throw like stuffed animals down, and
yeah,
like, take the pillow out, and they all like fall out like a big like. God, it's kind of like a tsunami of stuffed animals.
So fun.
We got yelled at by parents, although my parents are like, I don't understand. Like it's not gonna break it, so why are you yelling at us for doing that?
Yeah, who cares?
Throwing rocks down it.
Blake, do not tell me.
We might have. I remember we threw hard things down it.
Oh, Blake. Oh, you're such a child.
It just probably dented up a little bit in there.
Nah, well. I actually downloaded a podcast pre-flight checklist.
I like how it's titled pre-flight.
I know. It's the aviation nerd to the left of me. Turn on all equipment.
Check.
So microphones, recorders, computers, other devices, audio processor. Yeah, pretty much got all this checked off, and I love how
go down the checklist.
I love how it has turn off home noisemakers, heater, air conditioner, fans, dishwasher, humidifier, music, or
as
TV.
the heater on the other side of the room here goes off.
Noisy furniture, mouse or scroll wheel.
We all need to get mouse pads for our computers.
Right now, our table is currently a slab of plywood.
It's great.
And I just sound absolutely great listening to that back.
I know, it's going to be amazing. That's why I did it.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's going to be great for me to listen to.
Did you guys cut the corners off?
Yes, we did, and sanded it down, so less likely to get splinters.
We actually sanded down almost the entire table.
Actually, after we finished the main project, throughout the entire couple of hours after we finished, Tyler was still sanding down sections where he's sitting.
Yeah.
He was like, I got a little splinter.
Well, I mean, we don't have mouse pads, so my wrist is resting right on the piece of wood, and it sucks. So now it's nice and smooth.
I had because the table's sitting on sawhorses. I had to put a towel around one of the. Basically, I stubbed my toe on it 3 times, and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm putting a little towel around.
And you did it consecutively.
Even after the towel, I got standing my toe on it.
Within a matter of, I want to say.
I also stepped on a power cord. What else? How else did I injure myself yesterday?
You jabbed yourself on the toe with the saw.
Yeah, I did that.
You brought down the saw to cut off.
I left it laying up against the pole over there, and I hit my toe against it. Oh, it wasn't the cutty side. It was the
flat edge.
The flat side. The cutty side. Get much English. Wow.
Yeah, pretty good English right there.
Amazing.
The saw blade side.
The blade saw side.
The blade side.
The sharp side.
The sharp side.
The side that goes.
Yeah, but I did end up at least sanding down a lot of the table. But I think eventually, though, I do want to paint it.
I do, too.
Get a clear coat on it, make it nice and smooth.
That'll be because we were originally planning to record this yesterday, but no one can make it. You were sick, Kayla.
Yeah. Kayla was sick.
I don't know what happened to Matt. Matt just kind of vanished.
I wasn't feeling
I wasn't feeling up to it either. So we're let's just do something productive. Let's rearrange everything down.
Yeah, so we ended up rearranging the studio, and I do believe it looks a lot nicer now. And in fact,
there's more space now, and
we routed all of our cables.
Shout out to me for doing cable management underneath.
Yeah, Blake did a pretty good cable management.
I have a bundle of microphone wires underneath the table,
which is still kind of jank.
Kayla's phone just fell out of her ass. I don't know if you picked up on
Kayla.
I pooped.
Poop-a-doop-doop.
Who's the real child here?
Why don't you pick it up?
No.
It just
if my mother calls, it'll vibrate on the floor, and then I'll know. It's okay.
Hello?
Oh God.
It was kind of funny how yesterday, you were on the phone with your mom. I was sitting at my computer.
Stop.
I'm bringing this up. I'm gonna bring this up. And you asked for $10, and all I hear is, Tyler, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm poor as shit.
Me too. It's okay. We're all poor in this room.
Hell yeah, I got $1 to my name.
I just got paid last night, so I got 100 to my name. Yeah. I've only got 100 to my name, but that's okay.
I'm thinking of the SpongeBob quote, Mr. Krabs saying, "Look, Squidward, money!"
No one got that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said
just
it.
stop.
A very obscure reference.
Just stop.
The amount of times that Mr. Krabs says, "Look, money," I can't tell you where.
I know.
Mr.
It's all I
Krabs,
can-
and I like money.
So with the table, back to the table.
Going back to
The
that.
problem with this table, though, is that it's bowing.
It's like the plane.
Yeah, this is all,
Shut
this is all slanted.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you look
it is.
over here on my
It is literally just two pieces of plywood stuck together.
Yeah, and it's literally screwed to the
We could in theory
sawhorse.
just buy another plywood table and
A big sheet.
a big sheet of plywood and just lay it on top and it'll fix everything.
I mean, that's actually not a bad idea.
It is
but
not a
we'd
bad
probably
idea.
need.
But another
either-
like weekend do-it-yourself project that we.
I mean, I feel so far me and Blake have been the most productive in the
Productive.
studio.
Well, that's because one's MIA, one's I think also like,
MIA.
MIA.
Yeah. And one is also
one was sick yesterday.
one's MIA, one is also MIA, and one is also MIA. One is in Ohio.
So we have.
Yeah.
So he's not really missing. Well, like he is, but he's
Which
in like
one,
he's
Mike?
he's in like a general area. So he is technically
He's
missing in
2
action. Just
states
we have a
over.
relative idea where he's at.
Oh yeah, we also have we have 2 other members of our group
Posse.
of our posse, and one of them is in Ohio. He couldn't make it. Did we try to record when he was back or no?
No, because he was sick.
Oh wait, we were all sick. Well, we were mostly all
Shout
sick.
out to New Year's when you got it was your
My
sister.
sister
and then
got us all sick. My sister
Yeah.
got me sick first,
And then
I
you
got
gave it to all
everyone
of
else.
us except
Then I gave it
this
to
one
everyone
next to me who's
Yeah,
immune
well,
to whatever sickness.
Be
The meeting we had like the few days after, like half of us were sick. We're just like,
half
let's
us
get
were-
this over with.
Yeah, but unfortunately, one couldn't make it. We don't have a spare microphone, and the other, who is our co-founder, Mike, is in Ohio
School.
for school.
He's a
So
nerd.
yeah, because he's a loser. He's a jackass. I hate him. I've
We all
known
hate
I've
him,
known
but we
him
love him at
for
the same time.
I've known him for literally the entirety of my life, 21 years of my life. I've known him since day one. Because our parents are best friends, so or my mom and his mom
Wait,
are
do you guys
best friends.
share the same birthday?
No,
Oh.
but
Are you guys close? Or?
No, I'm
mind.
older than him,
Never
so
mind.
I was born in '96. He was born in
He was
March
born at
90.
Oh.
Yeah,
March
his
97,
birthday's near
March?
mine. I don't know what his exact birthday is.
I don't remember, but it's yeah.
Actually-
I'm older than him by just a couple months.
Related to birthdays, it was really funny because there was a weekend, I forgot it was like in September or October, like where everyone seemed like they had their birthdays. And I'm thinking, why is everyone having their birthday on this one weekend? I
Valentine's
realized,
Day.
Yeah, Valentine's
Yeah.
Day. Like, oh yeah,
I know
Valentine's Day is a
exactly
thing.
what you're talking about. I'm glad I was not a Valentine's Day baby.
Yeah, me too.
I was close to it. So I was born November, so that was November. I can't count backwards. I can't do months backwards.
Wait, what's worse?
December, November, October, September, and that's where I draw the line.
What do you think would be worse, being a Valentine's Day baby or knowing that you're a partial accident?
Wow, Blake.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Because I
really.
have to elaborate on this. I think I do now, so they just brought it up.
Well, I know for sure that none of me or my
so,
sister
like,
were not an accident.
It
but-
might be
I'm a June
this might
baby.
be a little TMI. So like my parents are trying like for baby obviously, and they could not conceive me. And then they finally said, okay, we're just gonna stop. And then like lo and behold, a few weeks later, oh,
I'm pregnant.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
and that was me. So a partial accident maybe.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it could've-
probably. That's okay.
It was
I'm a
an
happy man now.
intentional accident. I want to say.
There's no
maybe.
such thing as mistakes, just happy accidents.
Okay, Bob Ross. I haven't seen any of those Bob Ross videos. I would love to. I know Bob Ross is a
They're
real
just-
nice guy.
They're nice just to like watch.
Did you watch him?
I've seen like one, and it's just so relaxing to watch him.
We should do like a paint session. We should just
We have to do that now.
So down.
I know. We
If
need
anyone
to,
wants that, just let us know if he wants to do that.
I would love to just get like a couple of easels and then there's.
And just like have like relaxing music and just
Yeah.
talk to us.
I would love
Just
to
like
do
the
that.
sounds like
Just the brush on the canvas.
You gotta beat the brush.
Just the. on the canvas.
Oh my god.
Do some.
It's just it's like so relaxing.
Do some cheeky
Art.
ASMR.
I think just painting and coloring in general. Oh.
We should make slime.
With the glue, with Elmer's glue and stuff.
Yay!
I want to make the glow in the dark slime.
Yes, I want to make the fluffy slime where you don't use borax, you use shaving cream and contact solution. And
I've never heard of that.
It gets it really fluffy. It's not as like stretchy, but it's like super fluffy. It's
Fluffy
so good.
slime?
Yes.
You can hear the typing of the keyboard now on the mic.
It's like, I follow on Instagram way more slime accounts than I would care to admit because
really?
I'm slightly obsessed with it.
Well, I think that's pretty good.
we need
You
to
know,
have a
there are
discussion about
fetishes
that.
about that.
Have an intervention.
But it's not like it's
Just-
slime. It's
just-
not like I'm doing like
I can just like
cocaine
I can just
and
like
following
imagine
cocaine
like,
pages.
you walking into a room, we're all there like in a circle. Kayla, sit down. We need to talk about your slime problem.
I'm searching up slime on Instagram right now.
Oh my god! Is there really Instagram accounts dedicated for slimes?
Yes.
I'm sure there
and
is.
they sell
Why?
They have, a bunch of they all have like shops and stuff like that, and they sell slime.
That's amazing.
Why?
It's so amazing.
That's amazing. I like this.
I mean,
Like there's been a couple of them where they've been so successful that they literally are like can afford like warehouses and stuff like that, or like dedicated like buildings or rooms or whatever where they can
I guess I can
make
like
slime and sell it.
I guess I can understand it like in a hobby kind of point. It's like a hobby.
I mean, it's great for children. It's great for like anxiety, stress relief. Like just playing with a huge tub of slime. How would that not like relax you? Like I just want to play with
You know
it.
what's really nice to help calm anxiety? Browsing the subreddit Oddly Satisfying.
Or eye bleach.
Oh, that too.
That's another good one.
Whenever I'm like stressed out, I just go on that and I'm just like, ah.
So, Kayla,
I'm so
I'm now
happy.
following some slime accounts on Instagram.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Ooh, which one? Which one?
Slime yeast or slimy yeast. Slime.
Okay.
I forgot.
Glitter slimes, Snoop slimes, and Slime OG.
I forgot. There was like one night I was just sitting here and all of a sudden my phone lights up like an Instagram notification and it says Tyler like liked one I post. I'm like, oh, it's probably one of my recent ones. No, it was like one of the ones that I like posted like a year ago and I'm like, is Tyler creeping out on my Instagram?
Well, you don't post that much.
I know, but like I just like saw like Tyler's creeping out on my Instagram.
I post almost like every other day.
I need to post more, I feel like.
Yeah, you do. Because
I don't have anything like photogenic. Like here's a picture of my computer.
You don't need to be photogenic. You can literally just post.
I don't do anything outside of work.
You can literally post almost anything.
Yeah, I probably could.
I have this Instagram page that has like almost 5,000 followers on it that I low-key, it's not deactivated, I could still go on it if I wanted to. I've had it since like I got it within the year that Instagram was like made and stuff like that, so I was able to build, and I had it strictly for photography and all this stuff, and it was great. But then people just on the whole like cyberbullying page trend, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
And just I had people like messaging me telling me to kill myself because I was posting
Jesus
pictures
Christ.
of flowers.
Oh.
So I just I deleted all the content on it, and I just kind of like left it. I tried deleting it, but it never deleted, so I still have this account, and I think I'm going to reactivate it again and make it photography.
Yeah.
What a
just
great
delete.
world we live in, by the
Yeah.
way.
Well,
Just
when did you deactivate or when did you delete everything? Was that high school era?
Beginning high school, within freshman, sophomore year.
Yeah. Well, people just suck. Teenagers suck.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm out of high school. I
mean,
don't miss high school though.
There's
Like,
still,
shut up.
Oh.
No, you do not count in this. High school sucks.
It
Like,
did. It did for me too. I'm just saying, there's still like nice people out there in high school. Like I talked to some. Like,
well, no shit, but I mean, like that. It was just an awful experience for me.
like I
Yeah.
work with some high schoolers at work. And
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty okay people to talk to. They're pretty fun people.
My sister's 15, and I want to strangle her. Like,
Oh.
Is she going through an edgy
time.
phase?
yes. Yes, it's not like emo, whatever, but it's just
I hate
edge,
everything.
and
Well,
I hate everything. and
That's
it's
like the new scene phase for us. For them.
That's
It's
me in
just-
general. I hate everything.
Well, when we were in high school, it was the emo and scene phase, which
Yeah.
was like the shit.
It was like what 2013, 14.
think it was, like-
Even a little earlier than
I think it
that.
was like started.
2012.
It was more like middle
2011.
school. It was more like middle school and high school. Actually, yeah, I think middle school was the emo scene phase, not high school for us.
There's some people though that are still kind of stuck in it.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter now.
It's kind of fun, like looking back at like elementary school, like people like that you knew in elementary school, and looking at like their high school like self. It's like, wow, they're much different now.
Yeah.
They really like did a 180 on everything.
Yeah.
I have a funny story about that when Tyler's done talking.
No, go ahead.
In 3rd grade, there was this kid in my class. He was sort of like an asshole. I don't want to say names. And I would, with my best friend at the time, we would bring in, like, our Pokemon figurines and play with them at recess.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Yes, I'm repping the Pokemon. But, I had, for Easter, I had gotten a pack of 3 where it's the Trico evolutions. And it was the shit. I love Grovyle so much. He's one of my all-time favorites. And I brought him to school one day in 3rd grade, whatever. And this guy, he wanted to, like, see it, whatever. But he didn't give it back to me. He just started playing with it. And he was so obnoxious with it that it got taken away by the teacher. And she ended up throwing it away, so I never got it back.
What the fuck?
So,
Wow.
I am still actually really salty about this. I finally just got another Grovyle back just to replace it for Christmas. Shout out to my boyfriend because he's the shit.
Yeah.
But, I just found out, like, a week ago that this kid who did this, he's now a porn star.
Holy mother of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew a couple. I didn't know him personally, but I found like a couple people from our high school.
I found a couple of people on Grindr. I think you know a couple of them.
Probably don't. Like
one-
say
I know.
names,
I know.
but-
Mike has said.
Mike has said the
couple
one that
people.
we're all thinking of.
There's actually one night, like I had a coworker game night, and one of my coworkers actually went to OHS. For some reason, I never even knew him at the high school.
Yeah.
But it was really kind of funny. But like he was something like, yeah, like 2 people like did a porno at high school. I'm like,
Ugh.
oh, okay. So we like went into my yearbook and looked at the names. And he's like, yeah, I ran into the guy at like a pizza place, and I just like looked at him. He's like, hey, good job.
Oh God.
he didn't really know what to say. It's like, how do you react to that?
That's really awkward.
I think it's even more awkward that they're in high school and they shot this. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the
Oh,
heck?
yeah. That's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird. How did we get on this topic?
I recently, I tried signing up for Tinder. Can't do it. I don't like Tinder.
No.
I don't like the fact that the random dating. Blake, let me talk.
Okay.
I don't like the fact that I don't like the random kind of selection. Like I like to know people before I like to date them. Like it's just dating strangers is weird. Like you don't know them, and it's like you don't know what they could be like unless you know them for a while.
It's like low key terrifying because you don't know. Like you want to like meet up for like coffee or something. You don't know if they're gonna be some like killer or like to like an extreme.
So
I
just uninstalled Tinder a couple days ago, and I'm so happy. I don't like Tinder. Can't do Tinder. I don't care for Grindr. I don't care for any of those dating apps. Like I just don't. I don't.
I feel like 90% of it is just like, hey, let's have a one night stand. Bye.
Pretty much, that is literally
That's just what it is.
That's generally mostly what it is, and I just don't care for that. I'm looking for a connection, not a one night stand.
I don't
That's
understand
fine,
the
too.
whole hookup culture. It's just
yeah.
I have respect for myself, and I take pride in the fact that like I'm not gonna be the girl who has had like 15 boyfriends and all that
within
stuff.
the past year.
Within the past year,
Yeah. Well, it's not like they don't have respect for themselves. It's more like the fact that they need like someone to be with them. Like I can understand.
There's like, but if it's like that, there's got to be some sort of underlying issue.
Oh yeah, there's probably.
where-
I'm sure there's an issue, but everyone's got their own issues.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't
kinda
it doesn't bother me. It's just not my cup of tea.
It's just I'm not.
It's
If that's like you, I don't care. You do you. That's just not me.
That's my whole insight of everything. It's just I don't care what you're doing. Don't hurt yourself or don't hurt others.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Just,
You do you.
You do you. That's literally my philosophy of life. I just don't I don't care.
You do you, boo boo.
I don't care about abortion. I stopped giving a shit about the president. I don't care. I don't care anymore.
As
I'm
long
done.
Bringing
as-
politics into this.
As long as he doesn't blow us up and take away the rights of human beings, it's just whatever. Got to just live out his term, and he will more than likely not be reelected. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Yay, politics.
Yeah. Well, Oh god,
Tyler's dying again.
As I cough-
Tyler, stop
as I
dying.
cough into the microphone, I'm so sorry.
We're recording. Stop dying.
God,
You can die when time's up.
well, that's at least I'm not as sick as I was when after Christmas, though. God, the
I
flu.
can just like imagine like you hit stop recording, just you fall over.
Oh God, no! Yeah. So I'm still recovering from the flu a little bit. I still have a little bit of a cough, and I know my sister gave me the flu. I gave the flu to Blake and Mike.
Yay!
And somehow, Kayla has managed to avoid the majority of it.
I don't know how, because I haven't been sick since, like, fall, really, like, towards, like, the beginning, midterm school part of the school year, but it was just, like, a mild to moderate cold. Yeah. But I don't know how I've avoided being sick, because everybody in my house has gotten sick at least 3 times since, like, September.
Wow.
So I don't know if it's with the fact that I'm spending less time at home, or if my immune system has just picked it up a little bit.
Well, we also got the flu shots, but my source of the flu came from Colorado, considering my sister came in from Colorado.
Let's all look at Colorado and just blame them. Just blame the Colorado.
It was probably a different strain of the flu. I think I don't know if my sister got vaccinated, and I know I got vaccinated. I know Blake, you did.
I didn't.
Didn't? Okay.
I did. I did.
Kayla, you did, and Mike did. So.
I'm actually really salty towards your sister now, because I was going on like a 1.5-year stretch of not being sick, and then I got sick from.
Well, you need to get vaccinated.
Well, I was doing just fine. 1.5 years.
No, you still need
anything can happen. You know, it's on the news that people are dying from this flu outbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't. I felt like I was dying though. You
Yeah.
had 102, 103 fever. Blake, you had 103.
I went from 99.7 to 102.5 in about
almost.
an hour.
Yeah.
And the best part, I wasn't even coherent enough to realize I should probably go to the hospital.
Yeah, I was so out of it.
I just love the fact that I texted, I think Mike, like the thermometer reading like 102.9.
You text all of us that.
Yeah, I was sending the group chat. I was like, look, new high score, guys. I did it. I am a level 10.
Unhealthy. It sucked. It was awful. Like I was unconscious. I was incoherent, and it put me on my ass. Like it put me out for, I want to say, like 5 days. It took Blake like.
It took me like we caught it early. Apparently, it took me like 3 days to be finally out.
No, that's because you also went to the doctor. Did you take any medicine? I forgot.
Tamiflu.
You took Tamiflu, yeah.
But like it was kind of funny. Like the Saturday that I had, it was over New Year's. So the Saturday before New Year's, I was like, I would get out of bed, walk around for like 5-10 minutes, get like try and eat something. I'm hungry, obviously.
Yeah.
And like, okay, my energy's all expelled. I'm gonna go back to bed.
Yeah, like
Or like when Mike stopped over for like 5 minutes, and like Mike tuckered me all out because he was just here, just the interaction, like for talking for 5 minutes with him. I'm going back to bed.
Yeah, I had mom was ever so kind enough to help me out, and so whenever I need something, I'd just be like, Mom, Mom. Shut up, Blake.
Nice.
I need the thermometer.
Thermometer.
And then, yeah, I don't ever want to relive the flu.
The best part was I got my entire family sick, and there was like a 2-day block where no laundry in the house would be done because no one wanted to do it. So it was just really funny, and the fact that me and my sister went through a whole bag of cough drops.
Yeah.
in less than a day, because
Those are good cough drops though. You got the Ludens.
The Ludens.
I didn't even, when I had the flu, I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to go anywhere. Blake, shut the fuck up.
Oh.
God, you're awful at interrupting.
I am.
And I laid in bed, and I literally had just water next to me, and just water bottles, and just, I had like 7-Up because I didn't want to eat. My stomach was just, it wasn't, I didn't have the stomach flu, but I just didn't want to eat. I had the fear I was going to like just get sick everywhere though.
Did you have the nausea though?
I had a little bit of nausea, but it wasn't. It
wasn't like vomit nausea.
It wasn't stomach flu nausea.
Okay.
It was just like, I'm not hungry, but if I do eat, I'll probably feel a little sick.
So I didn't risk it. Fear.
It's that fear. I didn't risk it, so I just ended up drinking like a bunch of Diet 7-Up and water, and that held me over for the couple of days I had the flu, and I had some crackers, and then once I started feeling better, I actually went out and got some of the V8 just so I can get some vegetables and stuff in me. And then I also got some chicken broth, which is really kind of disgusting by itself. I didn't realize how bad it was. And then I think I got goldfish. I think that was the gist of my recovery food, and I had bananas too. But God, even the recovery is awful because you have to slowly bring yourself back to normalcy, and it's just made me miserable.
The issue I had is when I had the Tamiflu, it made me so sick to my stomach. Even if I eat something, it was just
Did you have to eat something to have?
Yeah, this is bottle just take with food or something like that. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
But even if I ate something, I just when I felt so sick to my stomach, I would take it in the morning, and I'll come downstairs, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go lay down again because my stomach is just hurting so much.
I haven't been flu sick in I want to say 2 years. The last time that I remember that I was super super sick, I ended up my mom ended up having to take me to the ER because it was when the H1N1 swine flu
my sister had that.
big.
My sister had that. Yeah.
I had a really 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 bad cold. It was borderline bronchitis. I had a super bad postnasal drip and I just couldn't stop coughing. It freaked my dad out. Out of all people, my mom knew it was nothing because I wasn't exhibiting any other signs. I wasn't throwing up. I was getting I was gagging and stuff like that because I was coughing so much, but I wasn't nauseous throwing up from that.
Right.
But my dad was arguing with my mom, and it was just she ended up having to take me to the ER just to get him to shut up, and so that was a trip. But I went through when I was little, a kid, I was sick every year, hospital sick. I've had bronchitis 5 times.
Really?
Yeah, and it was all landed on Christmas and stuff like that. So there was one Christmas where I couldn't talk. One Christmas or around Christmas they had to take me to the ER because I couldn't breathe and I turned blue because I had bronchitis. I've had the flu many times, projectile vomiting up every hour on the hour, throwing up, and it's just I think it's that ended mid high school, and I haven't really been super sick like that again.
Yeah, because I remember you used to get kind of sick in middle school too.
Yeah, I'd get sick all the time, but I don't know what the hell happened. But I'm just praising the gods that I have not projectile vomited in 3 years. So
see, the last time I projectile vomited was just a couple days ago. So
Hey.
Yeah. Well, I just never feel good. I always feel very sick. I was miserable New Year's Eve. I wanted to actually celebrate.
Yeah, me too.
And I think Mike invited us to his house.
And then he got sick.
And I was like, I wasn't even gonna go anyway. I was still sick, so I was just like, well, it looks like everyone's gotten sick, so now we really can't do anything. So now I have to spend my New Year's Eve, my New Year's in bed, which I had the flu the exact same time last New Year's, so I had the flu 2 New Years in a row. That sucks.
And then now for this year though, to stock up on vitamin C and all that crap, just boost your immune system up to start on Christmas or a little bit before Christmas. Just start taking
and make sure my sister is not sick when she comes in. God.
I just love the fact that I messaged you and Mike and hey, we're all sick. Why not all just get together since we're already sick?
We would have been the ultra conglomerate of the virus.
You would have probably made one giant super virus and destroyed us all.
That would have been bad. That would have been. And it's a Colorado strain, so it's not like it's an Illinois strain.
Yeah, so everybody would have been screwed.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that wore off. I'm sure we gave it to someone else, though. I'm sure people, Blake, your job, I'm sure some people have gotten sick, I'm sure.
Yeah, there was actually an illness spreading around before I got sick. I'm not sure if it was from you, but I think it was from you, because...
Yeah, it's fair. It's a fair assessment.
Yeah, there was a bug going around from work.
I'm glad I don't see with your work. You work with secondhand stuff.
Yeah,
that's something.
Although that really helps my immune system though, because like I said, a year and a half of not being sick, that really boosted it up.
See with me, I'm a slight germaphobe. I'm not full blown I need to wipe down everything. I don't like to touch secondhand stuff. If I go to if I go to GameStop and I get if they have a used controller, I'd wipe that shit down.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so even in, I don't like buying used stuff online. Like, but if it's like a game, for like if we're talking about GameStop, if it's a game where I don't have to touch it that often, then I don't really care that much because it's not going to be in my vicinity.
You're not putting the game in your mouth and
Yeah.
type stuff.
Well, it's not like I'm putting the controller in my mouth
Well,
either.
you're holding
yeah,
the
I'm holding the controller
and you
and
can
then
touch
we
your
eat or
face.
something. Yeah. And like I don't do that. I kind of avoid it as much as possible. And so far, I can't really say so good, but so far it's okay. But it's not like I really go to any like secondhand shops. If anything, I get food poisoning more than I do the flu. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten food poisoning, which is like
well, lucky you.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
just saying. Like, I feel like really lucky. I feel like what is this all about?
considering my lactose intolerance, I get food poisoning a lot, and I say it's food poisoning, but I'm sure it's a dairy reaction. But it still sucks. But I get it more often than I'd like to admit, and sometimes I don't realize that something has dairy in it. That's what sucks the most. Like, I forgot what I was looking at the other day, and on the packaging, it was clearly made with some sort of cheese product, dairy product, but it didn't say contains these ingredients. I was like, well, I know it. They don't have to. It's pretty obvious that it contains those ingredients, but they should still say contains milk or milk ingredients, because that way it's just. Because they usually put it in bold underneath the ingredients.
Yeah.
They don't put
like
it.
my people know like who has lactose. So.
Yeah, so like
peanut
I have to look
allergies.
through the ingredients to make sure that sometimes things don't contain either lactose or milk or buttermilk or like stuff like that. And it's just like, why don't you just put it at the bottom of the ingredients? It confuses the shit out of me sometimes. Blake, that was you.
Yeah, that was my computer.
That was your computer. But don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it kind of baffles me when I see brands and groceries. Sometimes they just don't label their products correctly, and I get food poisoning from that. There you go.
Can't you in theory sue off that? Like if that happened,
You
if
could,
got
but it's
threatening,
a stupid.
threatening,
See
it's a stupid thing. It's
see, here's where my logic contradicts itself. I think people who do that are incredibly stupid. They know what they're getting themselves into when they eat this product. They list the ingredients, so that way they technically their asses are covered already.
Yeah.
It doesn't say Blake. Okay, you can.
That's all. The Discord's going off.
What they should do though is they should say contains X ingredient, just so that way.
It doesn't even have to be like specific, like contains dairy products or something like that.
Yeah. That's where it bothered me. But yeah, I wouldn't be the person to sue. I would be the person to be like, "Hey, this needs to be rectified."
It's kind of the person to point it out, basically.
I would be the person to point it out, and because I'm not an asshole, I wouldn't sue for that unless I were to get like deathly ill, like in the hospital. Then pay my fucking hospital bills, please.
Yeah.
So
it's like the lady who sued McDonald's for the coffee being too hot.
Oh yeah, the coffee being too hot. She spilled on her lap. She was like 68 years old or something like that.
I mean, to be fair, she did get some severe burns on her legs.
Yeah, that sucks. But still, you should know that coffee's hot. They did find out, however, in that case, that McDonald's was actually making their coffee hotter than what they should have been making it, and McDonald's knew that. So that's where other than I think that case would have flopped if it weren't for the research that they did on that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah.
Coffee is hot.
Coffee is hot. People should know that, but
unless
McDonald's,
it's iced coffee.
they were serving it hotter than what it should have been served at. That's the reason why it actually got some ground. So they did look into it, and
did she get anything from that?
I believe she got a settlement from that.
Oh, that's good.
I believe so.
Google it really quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it. McDonald's.
There is actually a day, this is kind of related to being burned. I was actually making leftover mashed potatoes. And I put like one of those like big like ceramic dishes like microwave safe. As I'm taking it out, I'm like, it's slippery on the handles, and I dropped it, and like it splattered all over my hand. The worst feeling in the world is when you have molten mashed potatoes just covering your hand. At that point, I'm screaming, bolting to the sink, and I'm like, that shit hurts. My dad comes running in, and he's like, what happened? I'm like, I burned my hand with mashed potatoes.
Wow. All right, so here's a quote directly from Wikipedia.
Going back to the McDonald's thing?
Yes. The case is considered to be an example of a frivolous litigation, which means it's it was really unnecessary.
Yeah.
ABC News called the case the poster child of excessive lawsuits. There you go. Jonathan Turley called the case a meaningful and worthy lawsuit. McDonald's asserts that the outcome of the case was a fluke attributed to the loss of poor communications and strategy by an unfamiliar insurer representing a franchise. Liebeck's attorney, Liebeck was the woman who sued, Reed Morgan and the Association of Trial Lawyers of America defended the result in Liebeck by claiming that McDonald's reduced the temperature of its coffee after the suit, although in fact it did not. So essentially, they did lower the temperature. A survey done by the LA Times that year found that the coffee was served between 157 and 182 degrees Fahrenheit. That's
hot.
Fucking hot. That's not just hot. That's incredibly hot.
That's like undrinkable at that point.
And finding that hot coffee was served unreasonably dangerous. McDonald's policy today is to serve coffee at 80 to 90 degrees Celsius. So that means 176 to 194 degrees, but they also have a warning.
Yeah,
so
it's probably smart.
But that is still incredibly hot, so don't spill your coffee.
Yeah.
Especially on your dick or on your vagina.
Related to like suing of company stuff. Like, I wonder how many times a day a corporation just gets like just random complaints from just like that one off person who just had a really bad experience.
Every day. Oh, have you looked on Google Maps? Have you ever read reviews?
I have.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering like, I wonder what happened with them. I wonder if just being like too like needy and just like want to complain about something, or like what the whole story was.
I think in order to get like McDonald's attention, you have to like literally go to the courts and
be like, hey.
And be like, yeah, you have to like get a lawyer
same
involved.
With, like any retail place though, like or any like just big.
Yeah, because nowadays people complain about everything.
Yeah, they do.
And so companies don't really give a shit about that. I mean, they do give it. Not to discredit anyone, but
they do kind of give some form of like care about it, but like nothing like much like to change everything, overhaul it.
Yeah, I mean, usually they look into it as like suggestions.
Like, this cashier was frowning at me. Okay, what can we do about that?
Yeah,
we can't really do much about that. There was
unless you go to the manager of the store and complain. They don't.
Yeah.
If you really even leave a review online, they don't really look at it unless it's a like an indie kind of like
a
small storefront.
Like,
if you leave a review for them on Yelp, they'll try and rectify it at least. But if you're gonna go like to a big chain store or a restaurant like that, they don't.
Like I've seen that like local places like with Google reviews or something like that, they always like respond or something like, "I'm so glad your experience was great," or "We'll try and fix that for later."
I like it when they respond.
I like when it makes you feel like more connected to their.
So I was recently looking into getting like a USB-C to USB cable for my phone. That way I can just have like a USB stick to put on my phone. And I was reading reviews about it. There's 200 something reviews. I'm not going to read every review. It was a 4.5 star review, so good review.
Yeah.
But I saw like some old reviews that were like 1 star, but they changed it to 5 star, and then they said this manufacturer responded to me and sent me out a new product and considered my old product defect, and the new product worked just good. I'm just like, see, that's what I want to see. That's one thing that makes me very comfortable. When I buy stuff through Amazon is when I see companies respond to reviewers on their reviews, and like even when they respond to questions about their product, I'm like, that makes me feel a lot better. Even though sometimes you can tell the English is not their first language, that makes me a little that makes me a little uncomfortable, but it's not going to change my opinion that much. But it makes me feel a lot better when companies do decide to take the effort in helping out their customers that paid money for their product, for one thing, and that's why I read a lot of reviews.
Yeah, before buying something.
A lot of times I think people are very stupid in the reviews, though.
Yeah, like that.
I don't always trust reviews, considering that a lot of people sometimes they don't use the product the intended way that they're supposed to use.
No, and then it's just a lot of reviews that I see in like Amazon or whatever. They they say that they don't like it, but they don't, and they say that they have a problem, but they never go into detail as to why they had a problem or what the problem was.
And they don't give a fair assessment, because it's like when I review a product, I look for quality, I look for reliability, I look for usefulness, I look for stuff like that. And people just go all willy-nilly like, this product doesn't work for me. 1 star. And then it's like, okay, well...
Go into detail. Why?
What doesn't work? How, is it reliable? You can give it a 2 star if it's like a good quality, or if it's like a bad quality, or if it's reliable or not. Like, what doesn't work? It doesn't help when you leave 1 star reviews.
And then how is the company gonna do anything about it to fix your problem if you're not even gonna say what the problem is to begin with?
Yeah, because people just bitch about it.
Yeah,
and it's like, help us out here and help another customer out. In fact, like help, because people are gonna see your review.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be like, so what's the problem? You just listed it doesn't work. It sucks. I want my money back. 1 star. How does that help me? So, and it's like...
It's kind of like the same way with, like, Steam games, too. Like, when people, like, do, like, the reviews on Steam. It's like, this is a bad game. One review, it's like, okay,
How?
Yeah.
Go in detail. I mean, some people do go in detail, and it's nice to look at, but, like, people say, this is such a game, don't buy it. Don't
Not only that, though,
like,
I don't like Steam's review system.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because you get only one or the other. So it's like, you like it or you dislike it. You don't really you don't get a star rating on Steam, do you? You get mostly positive, mostly.
Yeah.
You get those. You get the thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah.
And you don't get a gradient.
Yeah.
You don't get a gradient.
What I see some people do is like they thumbs up it, but they put like pros and then cons.
I like that.
I love when people do that.
I like it when people do
nice.
that. I believe that's the proper etiquette for a Steam review. Unless they were to implement like a star rating system, which I don't think they will.
Yeah,
I don't think they ever will. I wish they would. Speaking of Steam, I wish they would update their user interface because it's so outdated.
I still find it kind of easy to use.
It's easy to use. I like big picture mode and I like the regular mode. However, I believe the regular mode has been around since almost the beginning of Steam.
Yeah.
And so I think it's about time for an upgrade. And also going to the Steam mobile app, the user interface is beyond old, because it has a very similar interface as when I first got my first Android back in 2012, 2013-ish. So it looks like it came directly from that era. And I know how fast technology moves.
Yeah, it
and
does nowadays.
Right now in the graphics world, we are in the contemporary era, modern, minimalistic, modern contemporary, simple to use. Well, people are using like the iOS kind of versions of designs and stuff, because Apple has been, to their credit, I hate Apple, but to their credit, they have innovated like the design aspect of
like user interfaces, basically.
Of user interfaces, because they're pretty simple to use, and I appreciate that. And so I think Steam needs to reevaluate their
and kind of play catch up a little bit.
Yeah, up.
Personally, I don't have a problem using that. It's just my opinion, though.
No, yeah, I get it. I mean, if it works and it's if it looks stupid but it works, then it ain't stupid. That kind of thing.
Good saying.
I do believe that's a good thing, and I do like. It's not like I don't like the Steam interface. I think it just needs an upgrade a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe
make themes for it or something better. Which I believe there are themes for it, but they're just stupid to use. Or I don't remember off the top of my head, and I don't feel like opening Steam right now. But I believe you can choose themes.
Can you? I don't think you can. I've never seen it before, but
I think it's in the settings.
I'll have to poke around with it later.
I mean, I like the big picture mode. See, the big picture mode is kind of in the right step.
Yeah.
Because it's minimal. It has a nice
like
flowing,
streamlined,
streamlined, flowing. Like it's got a good feel to it.
Yeah.
And it's not overly complicated. You can use a controller with it. That's the main reason why it's there.
Didn't they try to make an operating system at one point?
Yep. It is a Linux-based operating system, and I was going to install it on my is a dual boot on one of my computers, but I decided against it because I wouldn't really use it.
I thought people were having problems with it, like when it first. Came out.
Well, since it's a Linux-based operating system, it does have its drawbacks. It's not, most games on Steam are made for Windows or Mac or games like those.
We have that problem, like my gaming group, like a couple of us are like on Macs, but then everyone else is on PC. It's like we can't play that game because it's not on Mac, and it's really frustrating sometimes.
It's nice though when you got some sort of like smaller titles like Team Fortress 2.
Yeah,
that's on every operating system, and I'm like, that's one of my favorite free to play games ever, and I would love to play some Let's Plays with that.
We need to do a Let's Play with that.
Oh yeah, that's a great game to Let's Play.
Now that we've said it, now we have to do it.
Yeah, or Minecraft. That's on all systems, but that's not on Steam. Which that baffles me. I wish Minecraft would be on Steam because I think multiplayer would be so much better.
It is owned by Microsoft now, so I feel like I don't think would work.
Well, it's on the Windows. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. You're
right.
On
the Windows Store. I think
it's on the Windows Store, in which I haven't tried the Windows 10 version yet because I just don't really.
Because they completely separated the original Minecraft. Like now it's this Java edition.
There's the Java, and then there's the Windows 10. I like the Java edition a lot better because it's more modular. It's more.
Yeah, you can do more with it.
You can do more with it. Windows 10, it's the vanilla version, which I love the vanilla version of Minecraft. Don't get me wrong, but it's just nice to have some sort of flexibility. Yeah. And the Java version, you can also like use shaders and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you can make that game look like
a different game.
A different game. You can make it look like $1 million worth game, and it's just like. Can't really. I don't. As far as I believe, yeah. Well, yeah. As far as I believe, I don't think you can do that with the Windows 10 version.
You might be. I think there's texture packs that you can pipe.
There's texture packs, but I don't think there's shader packs. But then again, I don't know. I haven't used it.
I need to try a shader pack now that I got my battle station built.
Yeah. I have a Optifine.
I used to use it all the time.
Yeah, and I also have a couple shader packs at home, but. I don't use them because my computer can't handle it, but I have them just in case.
You know what is fun to do?
Huh?
Modded Minecraft.
I'm more vanilla.
It adds a shit ton of stuff to the game. You can literally just do so much like in modded Minecraft.
I've always wanted to do the Pokemon mod.
Yeah, me too.
The thing with me though is that I like creative and I like vanilla creative, mostly because just like if I were to like somehow lose a mod or something, it won't break the game.
Because like a lot of it's like just mod packs. Like they have separate like launchers and stuff. That have, like just it puts a mod pack and that's what it uses. One of the
only mods I really like though is the Sky Factory, and I love Sky Factory. I think that is
I did a playthrough with some people. It was fun.
I need to start a new world. In which we could start a new world.
We could do that.
Yeah, we could. But yet I use the Twitch launcher for that.
Yeah, that's what I use.
So is there any other way, or is that
no? That's how you do it. It used to be what was it called? The Curse launcher, but then I think something like the Twitch like bought Curse or something like that, and they kind of like morphed it into their own thing.
Right.
Which it still works. It looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, gets a duck.
The weird thing about the Twitch launcher is that can you import your own games?
Yeah.
You can.
There's like worlds or
no, I mean like if you have a game on your desktop and you're like
that I do not know because I just use the Twitch launcher for the modern Minecraft.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would.
It probably is a way you should look into it.
But that's the only thing. If they were to integrate Steam into their app, I would use the Twitch launcher much more.
Yeah.
Than I would like use any other sort of app like that because I do like the Twitch launcher has that modern feel to it. It has the minimalistic. It goes back to the UI where it makes me feel more comfortable to use it, but then again, I'm so used to Steam, and I know how you said like it's just if it looks stupid but it works, then it ain't stupid. It's that.
I tried using I forgot what the launcher is actually called. It's like EA's version of Steam or something like that.
There's Origins.
Origin. I had to use that. I used it once because I was testing out SimCity, the demo. And I was just like, I hate this thing.
I hate any other launcher. I hate Uplay and I hate Origin.
Yeah.
Uplay is one of my biggest enemies because it locked me out of my account because I couldn't remember which email I used. That's it. They locked me out of my account. Once I figured out my email, my email was like, oh, you can't log in on this launcher. You used up your too many tries. I'm like, what sort of fucking bullshit is this?
I hate when sites do that. It's
what kind of stupid ass dumb fucking shit is this? Like,
language, sir.
God. Well, it's frustrating when you're trying to play. I love to play Far Cry 3. That is one of my absolute favorite games, and Ubisoft makes that game, and so you have to use their custom their launcher.
Yeah.
the Uplay app. And when I first got my computer that I'm using at home now, I had to re-download my Uplay app, and I had to log in. I'm like, I can't remember my login. I haven't used this in forever.
I know, I hate when they do that.
And I kept putting in my email after email and password after password, and I could not figure it out. And once they locked me out, I was like, I'm sending a message to them on Twitter. I'm not going to customer support. I'm going to Twitter. This is because if you want a company to reply to you, Twitter.
Yeah.
That is absolutely
because they're never gonna concede, and then if they don't respond or they say something bad, they get so much backlash.
And so
it's like what happened with EA.
And all they did was give me shit about it. No, they didn't give me shit per se. They gave me like workarounds that they didn't give me workaround. They gave me they told me to just wait. I'm just like, that doesn't help. I mean, I want to play my game now. I can wait, but I want to play my game now.
Yeah.
So they told me to just wait. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
There's no way that you can go in and unlock this for me now that I figured it out.
Right. I have my username. I have my password. I know which username I was using. Oh my god, I got so mad.
Write a book on it, basically.
You could probably fry an egg on my forehead. I was fuming so mad, and I refuse to use their launcher. I refuse to. If there was a way, which I'm sure there is, if there was a way to work to launch games from Steam without using the Uplay app, I would totally do it. Because fuck Ubisoft. I think they're a shit company.
Here's a good question for the group here. Do you think that those big AAA companies are making these big titles I'm trying to think of examples. Like the new Star Wars Battlefront 2, with EA and all that. Do you think there's a shift going on, where everything's kind of going back to indie games now? Because Because the bigger companies are now so big that they just stop caring about their fan base.
Well, EA got so much backlash that they decided to change the way Battlefront 2 was.
But here's the thing, though: they didn't say it was gonna be permanent.
No, I know. I saw that.
They're probably gonna change it back after the holidays, which
I think loot boxes are shitty. I think any sort of.
Isn't Belgium investigating that, a bunch of European countries investigating that for gambling, the loot boxes?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe you are right.
It's stupid.
I think all of that is shady. I think even in Grand Theft Auto 5, it takes a very long time to get as much money as you need to buy some of the really cool stuff in it. And it's just well, that kind of sucks because you gotta play the game for so many hours and so long, and then you got people. By the time
you get it, you're sick of it. You're sick of the game as it is. I know for me, if there's an option for me to pay real money to get to something that I'm worked to, but then there's also a way where you can do it without money. Mm-hmm. I personally find it by the time that I get to the point without paying the money, I'm mad and I don't want to do it anymore. Because then it's just you get it and it's just.
A smart business strategy that a lot of gaming companies are doing is when you have to work up your way down a tree or something in a game, they make the later stuff really hard to get, so you're going to be forced to shell out money out of frustration just to get the higher level.
Yeah, and I don't think it's fair to be online to do that either, because then you got people who have a better ranking than you when they first get the game, and then you decide to play without buying the game, and then what was I going to say? I was talking about Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto Online just went really bad really fast.
Yeah, and I still think Grand Theft Auto 5 is a good game.
It is. The single player is amazing.
I like multiplayer too. I wish you could play single player in multiplayer. I know you can play on your own server, but it's just you can't really do much without playing with other people.
Yeah.
And when you're like me, I don't know. One of the games though I believe that they did the best that anyone has done the best on is probably the Fallout series. And I know, Kayla, you can absolutely back me up on this.
I still need to play that.
I have Fallout 3. I can let you play it on my account.
Once I get some money, I'm planning on buying it for my computer.
Oh, yeah. See, with Fallout 3, you also have to, you have to get a workaround for it on Windows because for whatever reason, the way it was programmed doesn't work on Windows 10 without a workaround, which I'm sure you've heard about this, maybe. But going back to the Fallout series though, like being a good series, like you don't have to pay for loot boxes. You don't have to pay. You don't. You get a completed game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hear. Like companies nowadays are doing that. Like they're making a game and then cutting out certain portions
Right.
and selling it later. It's like, no, that's not how you make it. Like you guys did that. Like you guys made like complete games years ago. Why is this changing now? It's like, no, this should not be how it is.
Right. And I mean, I know there's DLC for Fallout 4, and I think for Fallout
it's like
3.
a lot of content.
But it's like the way that they made the DLC is that it's just an add-on. Like you don't need to buy them to enjoy the game. Like the game in itself.
You get the full game.
You get the full game. The only money I invested into that game is to get the actual game.
Right.
And other than that, I am so far. I'm like level 40 something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty high. I don't know how high you can get. I'm just saying for me, I think that's pretty high.
Yeah.
And I've done so much. I have so many cool things that I've just gotten just from doing whatever. I haven't invested in anything. And if I get to a point where I can't continue or I just get bored of whatever, I'm at a point where I'd be okay with investing money in a DLC because I've done everything that I feel like I could do in a game and I've gotten my money's worth out of it.
From what I've heard, Far Harbor has the largest DLC per price, I believe. So
Let us not forget Train Simulator though, with its $5,000 of DLC.
okay, that's a game that I think was executed absolutely poorly with DLC.
It was.
you get shit off for
I think their mindset was that like you don't have to buy all the DLC. You just pick the ones you want.
Yeah, but that still bothers me. All right, so going back to Fallout though.
Oh, sorry.
For like Far Harbor, I think you get the most area per price. Let's see, Fallout 4. Like it's such an expansive area to the game where you don't have to. You get more bang for your buck. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And let me see how much the
You think I think like in Fallout is like I tried to get into it. Wait, what?
Far Harbor costs as much as you basically get another Fallout.
Oh goodness. Is it like $60 or?
Well,
No,
Fallout 4 is $25 now.
Oh, never
Yeah,
mind.
and I think the DLCs are like 20 something.
like,
The Far Harbor is 25, and I believe. Let me see the.
Cause like with me, like I tried to get into Fallout 4, but like I'm me, I'm a big PC gamer. I'm PC Master Race all the way. And then like my sister got it for the PlayStation 4, and I was like, okay, well the issue with me is I have to like go sit down and like in front of a TV in my family room, because we don't have a flat screen down in the studio. And it's like, okay, I got to be in front of everyone now playing Fallout. So it's like, well.
See, I actually like. Okay, so there are games that are made for console that get ported to PC.
Yeah,
and then there's PC games that get ported to console. Fallout games are made for console.
Oh, never
no, they are made. They are absolutely made more for controller-based TV experience on the console.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to take like PUBG, that is absolutely a computer game.
Yeah.
Yep.
It has to be.
Which they are trying to port to Xbox, I believe.
They already
right now.
have done it.
They have done it? Okay.
Complete garbage.
Okay, so from what I've heard, it's complete garbage. The Fallout series is more of a. It's not a mouse and keyboard game. It's a controller game.
Like I would use a controller obviously, because the only game I completed on like a next gen console, which I'm like Xbox 360 and above, basically is GTA 5. And like when I got GTA 5 on my PC, I tried to play with the keyboard. I'm like, I cannot do this. I have to plug in my controller and do it on controller, because it's just like it's so weird that it's using keyboard after getting used to a game for so long.
And plus, the shitty thing about GTA Online is that you either have to use the keyboard and mouse, and you have to play with other keyboard and mouse players, or you have to play with controller and other controller players, but you can't play intermingled just because of reaction times.
Oh, you're
dumb.
right.
It is dumb, but it makes sense.
I thought you could do cross.
No, I'm not talking about cross console.
No, I'm talking about like cross like keyboard and controller. That's what I'm talking about. I thought you could.
I don't. Last I checked, you cannot.
Oh, that's interesting.
And see, that makes sense. I hate it, but it actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Mostly because of reaction times with controllers versus keyboard and mouse. But I do prefer the controller better. Like Far Cry 3 is, my absolute favorite Ubisoft game ever. I play that on PC but with a controller, and I think it's absolutely a million times better with a controller than I tried playing it with a keyboard and mouse. And it's just like you don't get that it's made for a console. It's been It was, I believe, it was not ported to PC, but it was made for all of the above pretty much. So like PS3, Xbox.
It was like when Minecraft was ported from PC to like Xbox.
See, they did that good though. I think they did that good.
I kind of got used to the controller playing with Minecraft Xbox.
Yeah, well, I tried playing Minecraft with the controller because I play on mobile too.
Yeah.
And you can use the controller on mobile, and that's why I love using that. However, it is a weird feeling to play with a controller on Minecraft, but I do believe they did it right though. I do believe, and you know it's pronounced Mojang.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay, I didn't know that until like a couple months ago. Kayla's looking at me.
This is the first time I'm hearing this.
It is pronounced.
It's not pronounced Mojang.
It's Mojang. Yeah.
Mojang.
I knew that for a while.
That's a weird. I didn't know that until a couple months ago. I was listening to the Rooster Teeth podcast, and I believe Bernie brought that up, and my mind was just like.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, it is pronounced that way. It's really weird. But like,
considering it's Norwegian.
Norwegian. No, wait, no. Sweden? Swedish.
I think it's Swedish.
I think it's a Swedish company.
Swedish.
If it's Swedish, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite funny because when you pronounce it Mojang, people still like come up to you like, it's pronounced Mojang. It's like, actually, no.
Yeah.
You were wrong, sir.
You are the wrong one. Yep.
When you win an argument.
Yeah. All right, well, we're about an hour in, so I think it's about time to wrap it up.
Oh, but 5 more minutes. I did this last time and the program crashed.
All right, so...
One more bedtime story.
Blake, shut up. So, thank you for joining us for our first absolute podcast. And,
bye, friends.
And hopefully, this won't crash as soon as we press the escape button. So, I am Tyler.
I'm Blake.
I'm Kayla.
Signing off.
And good night.
Oh, that's
Pray
scary.
for us.